Hello, we're diving into Chapter 7 of Jane Eyre, Summary and Analysis. Jane Eyre Chapter 7 takes us on an emotional roller coaster through Jane's experiences at Lowood, a harsh charity school. This chapter isn't just a glimpse into Jane's daily life, it's a raw portrayal of suffering, resilience, and the cold, unfeeling system that rules Lowood. The main idea of Chapter 7 revolves around the physical and emotional hardships the girls endure at Lowood, but it's more than just a recount of harsh weather and empty stomachs. It's about how these struggles shape Jane's character and the injustice she faces under the school's rigid authority, embodied by the dreadful Mr. Brocklehurst. Supporting points and details. Lowood is like a frozen prison during winter. Jane and the other girls are exposed to bone-chilling cold and insufficient clothing, with snow soaking into their shoes and their hands and feet swollen with chilblains. On top of that, food is scarce, and the older, greedier girls bully the younger ones, stealing portions of their already meager meals. Sundays are no better. A long, freezing trek to church, followed by hours of spiritual lessons and sermons that feel more like endurance tests than nourishment for the soul. Miss Temple is one bright spot amidst all this gloom. While other teachers are too beaten down to provide any real comfort, Miss Temple strides through the cold, encouraging the girls with warmth and compassion. She's a mentor to Jane and offers hope in an otherwise dismal existence. Key events and plot points. The real tension starts when Mr. Brocklehurst, the grim, self-righteous head of Lowood, finally arrives. Jane is terrified. She remembers how he'd promised to label her a liar based on Mrs. Reed's lies. But when he first appears, it's not Jane he targets. Instead, he scolds Miss Temple for allowing minor luxuries, like clean clothes and extra food, insisting that the girls should embrace hardship to strengthen their spirits, which is easy to preach when you're living in comfort. Then, the moment of tension arrives. Mr. Brocklehurst spots a girl with naturally curly red hair. He decrees that all the girls' hair must be cut to discourage vanity. He's comically hypocritical because his own wife and daughters sweep into the room, dripping in luxurious clothes, furs, and perfectly styled curls. Significant characters. Mr. Brocklehurst is a moral tyrant who believes in strict discipline and suffering for the girls under his care, all while his own family lives in lavish comfort. He embodies hypocrisy and cruelty, using religion as a tool to control. Miss Temple is Jane's role model. She is firm but compassionate, a beacon of kindness amidst the cold austerity of Lowood. Concluding remarks or outcomes. The Chapter 7 of Jane Eyre concludes with a humiliating scene for Jane. After accidentally dropping her slate, she's singled out by Mr. Brocklehurst. In front of the whole school, he labels her as a deceitful child, warning the others to shun her. This public shaming is deeply painful for Jane, but it also marks a turning point. She begins to steel herself against such cruelty, refusing to let it define her. Sentiment and themes. The mood is overwhelmingly grim, with an undercurrent of helplessness. Hunger, cold, and fear dominate Jane's life at Lowood. But there's also a theme of endurance. Jane and her classmates survive through solidarity and occasional kindness, like Miss Temple's support. The chapter touches on themes of hypocrisy, especially in Mr. Brocklehurst's actions, social injustice, and resilience in the face of adversity. My favorite part, honestly, the irony of Mr. Brocklehurst condemning the girls for being vain while his own family prances around in the height of fashion is deliciously enraging. It shows how out of touch he is with the reality these girls face, and you can't help but root for Jane to rise above his narrow-minded cruelty. What the author is trying to convey. Charlotte Brontë is peeling back the curtain on the harsh, often inhumane treatment of girls in charity schools. She's critiquing the way religion and morality are used as weapons to keep people, particularly women, in their place, all while those in power live in luxury. Jane Eyre Chapter 7 drives home the message that true virtue isn't about denying oneself basic human dignity. It's about compassion and integrity, as seen in Miss Temple's quiet defiance. This chapter hit me hard because it's more than just a story of a young girl's suffering. It's a broader commentary on how society fails the most vulnerable, particularly women and children. The bleakness of Jane's situation only makes her eventual triumph all the more satisfying. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts on how Jane's experiences resonate with you in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more juicy book discussions, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all things literary. Let's get lost in the world of Jane Eyre together.